Tim, thank you. Excited, first of all, just to get back at it this week. It's not often that you have an open date this early in the season, but, that's just kind of how it fell for us this year. But really excited to kind of get back in the game, if you will. Didn't like being on the sidelines this past week. Obviously, a huge challenge for us as we head down to Tallahassee to take on the #1 team in all the land. And, but it's also a great opportunity for our guys. A great opportunity for them to go compete with the best team in the country. A great opportunity to go compete on the road again and see if we can, show some improvement from the last time we were out on the road. I don't think we got to play perfect, but we're going to have to play well to have a chance down there. That's for sure. Offensively, when you look at Florida State, this is a team that we know a whole lot about, and they know a lot about us. It's not just a conference game, but it's a division game, and it's been a huge game for many, many years. And it's a fun game to be a part of. But, when you look at them offensively, I think that they do a great job of being balanced. That's something they're very committed to. And because of that, they create a lot of explosive plays. They're going to run the ball and play action off of that run and try to do a good job of protecting their quarterback that way. Their offensive line is, as good as there is out there. All seniors, very athletic, very experienced. They all got a bunch of starts under their belt. They only lost one guy from last year, and that was the center. But their center played a ton and has got several starts under his belt too. So this is a really, really good matchup. If you just want to have some fun, watch their offensive line and our defensive line. I think that's a great matchup, and one that I'm looking forward to seeing. Obviously, their quarterback's the Heisman guy, and he's a great player. He's a great player. He really doesn't have any weaknesses. He's big. He's strong. He runs very effectively. He made just an incredible run for a touchdown against Oklahoma State. He hurdled his own guy. So I don't think he gets enough credit for being able to be effective with his legs, but he's very, very capable of hurting you both with his arm and his legs. He's very smart too. He's got great instincts and a great feel for the game. Does an excellent job of taking care of the football, and putting his team in position to be successful. So got our hands full with that guy. Their tight end is an All-American. Really, hurt us last year. This is a great football player, and they do a good job of involving him in a lot of different ways in the passing game, screen game, running game. They'll play 3 running backs. All of them are dangerous. Williams, number 9, is their big back. He's a 230-pound guy that can get downhill on you, and he can run away from you. So we've seen him and know a lot about him. Very, very good player, future NFL guy for sure. And then they got 2 young guys behind him that are explosive and fast. And again, they'll do a good job of playing all of them and trying to keep them fresh. Their receivers, same thing. Got about 8 guys, and they can all play. Got a few freshmen kind of mixed in there as backups that are very talented, but it all starts with number 80 for them. He is a great football player. He really is. When you think about what he has done in his career, nobody really talks about Green quite as much as maybe some of the other guys that have come through there. But he's got a chance to set every record that they have down there from a receiving standpoint. And there's been some great wideouts that have played at Florida State. So he is a very smart, crafty player that has that great short area quickness, but the ability to run away from you too. Tough-handed guy. And got a lot of respect for him. But all those guys, the 8 and 89 veteran guys for them. And, again, good depth at that position. Defensively, it's another great group. They're big up front, really, really big. They're in and out of their 3- and 4-man type, four down type stuff. They do a good job of stemming and moving. They do a good job of playing at the point of attack. They'll do some 2-gap stuff, but some just big, strong, physical guys up front is where it starts for them. Trying to allow those backers to have some ability to run, excellent at linebacker. Got a bunch of guys that started for them back. I think at least 7 guys that have starts under their belt. This is as good a secondary as we'll see all year. Really, really talented group, deep group. They'll be in their nickel and dime stuff, and they just roll them in there. So this is all these guys played against us last year, so we're very familiar with who they are and have great respect for them. And then special teams, dangerous group. This is a group that's got the Groza Award winner back as kicker. They've got their punter back. Very, very talented in the special teams area. And then you look at their return guys, dangerous as well. They'll have 9 and 8, and 80's their punt return guy, and is very, very talented and very capable of creating some explosive plays in the kicking game. So, not a lot of weaknesses when you look at Florida State. They're really sound. They've got good experience all over the field, and obviously they've got the Heisman Trophy player, winner at quarterback, and he's earned it. As far as the open date for us, I think we're in good health. Guys were very fresh last night and excited to get back to practice. We're going to have a great week of practice. We're going to have a great Tuesday, Wednesday for sure, to really give ourselves a chance to go play well. Florida State's won 18 in a row, I think, and been a long line of folks that have tried to knock them off, and we're up next, and we're looking forward to the opportunity to go down there and excited about being a part of a game like this. It's what makes it all worth it. You get opportunities like this that throughout the course of your season. With that, I'll take your questions.
Coach, your team has been in a number of big games over the last few years. I guess, how do you prepare a team going into a game like this without getting a bunch of 18 and 19 and 20-year-olds jacked up about playing the #1 team in the country in their house?
Well, it's just not about any of that. I mean, that's what people want to talk about, and remind us. But it's not about all that stuff. It's about how you play the game. And the biggest thing is you draw on the experience that you have in the room. And, we've got a bunch of guys that have good experience. And as you said, we've played in a bunch of these games. I think this is our 8th top 12 game in our last 18 games. So, we've been in a bunch of these type games. We played 4 top 10 games last year. So our guys, they understand how you have to play. And when we've won, we've won our share. And when we haven't won, they understand why. And, so you draw on that experience that you have with that senior and that junior group that's been a part of a bunch of these games, and you try to resonate that and make sure that guys are focused on the right things. But, I think mentally they're in a good spot. And then I think the fact that, hey, we had to open up and go to Athens, I think that's a positive for us. I mean, obviously we wanted to win the game, and we didn't deserve to win the game. But, I think that hopefully we can be much further along going into this game than maybe we would have been had we played somebody else, a different caliber team.
Yeah, well, Jimbo mentioned yesterday that that this has become a rivalry type game for them. How do you guys view it, and to have it so early in the season, is that difficult for both sides that you're not what you're going to be in November?
Well, it's definitely a rivalry game. I mean, it's conference, but it's division, and for us, it's all about winning the league. Because if we can win the league, then we have opportunity to do great things nationally, and and that's been proven. If you win this league, you're going to be in the mix. So it's huge from that standpoint. But at the end of the day, it is just our first conference game, and it's the same for them. And they do all that schedule stuff. I don't know how they figure all that stuff out, and I don't waste a lot of time worrying about it. We're going to play them whenever they say play them. That's just the way it is. So, I think when it's this early in the season, you have to be careful, though, that you have good perspective when you're playing a big game like this, where it's been so huge the last few years from a conference standpoint. Because you got 12 games, and they're all critically important to the overall big picture of what you're trying to do with your team and your program. And, you have to be careful when you win this game, and you have to be careful if you don't win it. I think that's very important because, if you celebrate and act like you've won the ACC because you've won this game, well, guess what? You're going to get beat the next week and probably get beat again. And if it doesn't go your way, and hey, you got to pick your boots up and go back to work and control what you control. I think that's what the great programs do. That's what, because you don't ever know. In college football, just when you think you know, you don't know. And we've played, all we know right now is we've played 2 ball games, and who knows? Auburn wasn't even ranked last year in the preseason, and they ended up in the national championship game. So it's just so early in the season. But as far as the schedule, you just play them however they say play them. You get ready, and I mean, if everybody had their say in how you lined everything, we'd never come to agreement. So you can't worry about that stuff.
Coach, what does Clemson need to do right to be the first team in the nation to beat Winston and the Seminoles?
Well, first of all, we need to take care of football. I think if you're going to have a chance to win this game from a Clemson perspective, we got to win the turnover margin. When we've lost to these guys, that's been a problem, and we have to find a way to create some turnovers and take care of the ball. I think that's critical. I think we have to win the big play margin. It's not something people talk about as much, but those explosive plays are a huge part of winning this game. When we've won, we've been good in those 2 areas, and when they've beaten us, they've been good in those 2 areas. I think that's critical. I think we got to be excellent in special teams. It's a huge factor, and then quite frankly, our best players got to play well. I mean, it just when you win games like this, your best players have to play well, and so. I think that's some critical factors for us, big picture wise, for us to have a chance. If we go down there and if we don't win the turnover margin and they have more big plays, then it's probably a long night for the Tigers. So we got to do a good job in those 2 areas, and that's everything combined. That's offense, defense, special teams. That's all of that working together to try to win both of those margins.
Dabo, they beat you over the top last year a good bit, but how do you think y'all held up the point of attack?
I thought we played actually pretty well on both sides. I thought we played really well in the offensive line last year in this game, and I thought we played well in the defensive line. But the game really kind of, if you really sit down and watch the game and you know what you're looking at, it changed quickly. And the most disappointing part of the game to me, obviously, I was disappointed with turnovers and a couple of just really poor plays on our part. But we didn't respond to the adversity when we had a chance. That was probably the most disappointing part of that game. And it was a 17-7 game, and we had the ball twice, like one time inside the 25, and we call a simple play, and we end up taking a 15-yard loss. We ran backwards on a play. It was just, it was a nightmare. And if you just score on one of those possessions at 17-10, at 17-14, whatever, and it's a different mojo, if you will. And we didn't respond. And then they went on down and scored, and now all of a sudden the game changes. Everything changes as far as how the game is called and different things on both sides. Type of coverages that you're seeing and so forth. But, that's the frustrating thing, but that's football. And but as far as how the guys played in the trenches, I thought they really played solid. We didn't really, usually games like that come down to the trenches. But we never really gave ourselves a chance to get it there. And, that's all you can do is your part. Football is about 11 guys doing their job and caring about each other. And when you have 8 out of 11 or 9 out of 11, it usually doesn't work as good, but everybody suffers. And that's why, having a high level of accountability is critical.